Hey pillars, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be discussing one-piece handlebars, and I'll tell you guys my opinion on them and if they're worth the upgrade or not, the pros and cons. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, if you guys are recently subscribed or have been subscribed for a while, or this is your first time here, I always appreciate you liking the video and subscribing to the channel. As of recently, it's really helped. And if you guys are wondering why I haven't been so active on YouTube as of recently, I've been doing some work behind the scenes to give you guys some better content. So I will not share right now what I have in the works, but I just want to let you guys know that something really special on the channel is about to happen in terms of content. So I'm really happy that, the work and the support from you guys supporting the channel, just liking the videos, subscribing, commenting, really staying engaged and helping this channel grow on the platform has just helped me eventually do what I've set out to do originally on this channel, which is get better reviews, better content for you guys, just a lot more cycling content in terms of products. So I'm very happy in terms of the content I'll be producing very soon for you guys. It's a very first on this channel. So if you guys can, like this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe if you guys have not, but just, everyone that's been supporting the channel, just really thankful, really appreciative of it. And we're almost at 4,000 subscribers. Pretty crazy that, now that summer's over, it's going to be a little bit tricky in terms of the content that's going to be able to be made outside. But if you guys do follow me on Strava, I mentioned it there, and also my Instagram, I'm planning a trip in Europe, hopefully for the winter. Kind of hard with the whole current global situation, but if that's able to, get figured out, there'll be a lot of content during the winter. So if you guys, I know a lot of you guys that watch me are in either the United States or Canada or the UK, which during the winter, I myself experience snow here, so it'd be really nice to see some good outdoor content during the winter, and I would love to bring you guys that. So without going too much in the chit chat, I just want to give you guys a quick channel update of why I haven't been so active. But I have been working behind the scenes for you guys for better content. But let's see what the content I have right now for you today, and that's the integrated handlebars. So right now, I'll just keep it on to a handlebar that we all know and love, and that is the Vision Metron's 5D integrated handlebars. Now, these are very popular within the pro peloton. You see them on teams like Education First or Jumbo Visma or Visma. My bad for the pronunciation. But you see a lot of teams running these handlebars just because a lot of them are sponsored by FSA. And the Visions are just very popular. They're a very good handlebar for integration. So I just want to show you guys, if you don't know what an integrated handlebar is, I'll explain it really quickly. So on a typical bike, you have a stem and then you have a handlebar. And now the stem has a stem face plate that screws in, has 4 bolts, and that holds the handlebars in place, and the stem connects to the fork of your bike. Now, what an integrated handlebar does is basically, combines the stem and the handlebar into one piece, which usually makes it lighter, and that's because it's made out of carbon fiber. So, typical aluminum bars come stock on bikes. You only really see the carbon stuff once you reach, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 on a bicycle, and even that's rare. Usually, integrated handlebars are at least 8 to 9K. That's usually when you see them on bikes. So just to give you guys a rough idea, the Metron 5D integrated handlebars are $600 USD. So that's quite expensive. I'll show some different shots right now on screen of what it looks like. So I made a list of pros and cons on why you would get an integrated handlebar, at least in my opinion. And you can see right now it looks really clean and really aero. So that brings me to my first pros and cons of integrated handlebars, is that it's already aerodynamic. I would say that's the biggest benefit of running integrated handlebars, is that because, especially in the stem era, you don't have any, rough edges. It's very smooth because it's integrated, right? It goes from handlebars, smoothly transitions to the stem. You'll have good airflow around that area. Now, for the typical rider or even low-level racer, is that super important, those aero savings? On this channel, I'm almost about value, so I'll talk about that after. But right off the bat, I don't think it's that important. But I want to give you that, guys, the pros. So the pros is obviously it's more aero. And then the second biggest appeal for integrated handlebars is that it's clean cable routing. So you can see right here, if we look here, I'll zoom in. You can see that there's a cable section where you can route the cables. And usually it goes through right here and it looks very clean. Now, if you compare that to the normal setup with a stem and normal bar, it's very hard to hide those cables. So for that reason, cable integration on the integrated handlebars are a lot more cleaner than your typical stem and handlebar. So I'll say your biggest pros and cons, and I'll also put in weight because they are carbon fiber. 9 times out of 10, I have yet to see an integrated handlebar that's aluminum, but comment down below if there is one. I haven't seen one. But so I would say aerodynamics, big one. Clean cable routing, that's a second one. Lightweight when compared to the normal stock stuff. And the last one I would say, it just looks hella cool, hella fresh. But now we're going to talk about the cons really quick. So right off the bat, you saw it, 600 USD. So the price is definitely a con. That's quite an expensive upgrade. If you really think about it, the handlebars are really, in terms of functionality, you're not getting anything with a handlebar, at least an integrated handlebar, that you can't get with your stock handlebar. You're not going to maneuver the bike better. Your handling is not going to be better. Your cornering is not going to be better. So in terms of functionality and performance, I don't really see a significant upgrade. When you compare $600, let's say, from a crank that has a power meter that doesn't, like if you don't have a power meter, that's a functionality thing that you won't have. So upgrading to a $600 power meter, like that upgrade actually has value. Where in this situation, from the stock stuff, nothing gets improved other than aero, which then again, it's not really, it's performance, but it's so negligible in my opinion. Because if you think about it, if you have a normal bar and stem, just you dropping your handlebars and getting more aero position, it far surpasses, an integrated handlebar. So even positioning, practicing of being aero would actually destroy any value that you would get by upgrading your handlebars to a more aerodynamic integrated one. So price is number one. Now, like I said before, in terms of weight as being a pro, these bars are usually carbon fiber, and if they're dropped ever, let's say you have in your garage or at a cafe or taking the bike out and it drops whatever, usually with the frames are strong enough, even carbon fiber, unless it's a crash, even if you drop it, the likelihood of you having a structural crack in your carbon frame is really low. But handlebars, because they're a lot less, not that they're not robust, but obviously it's a smaller part where there's more surface area on a carbon frame. Then again, I'm not a structural engineer by any stretch of the imagination. This is just from my knowledge. Handlebars are a lot sketchier in terms of if they get bumped around or bumped into or dropped. So that's why a lot of pros also don't run carbon bars, some of them, because they get sketched out, because if they crash in a race and they have to continue, they don't want to risk having the bar break on them. Now my last con that I would have to say with integrated handlebars is just the positioning that it allows, because it is fixed, where a stem and handlebar, you can actually rotate the handlebar and get into a correct position in terms of the grooves, in terms of where you want to hold and whatnot. You have rotation that you can do, and then you can flip the stem depending on how you're feeling. If you want a more aggressive stem, where this one, you can't really play around. It's very detailed. You have to know exactly what you like. Or it's kind of nice where a stem, if you end up riding more or you do some more stretching, more flexibility, from one season to another, you can upgrade your stem and get a pretty relatively cheap stem for 50, 60 bucks and have a more aggressive stem. Where if you have an integrated handlebar, you're really going to have to like that position, because if you don't, or you lose your flexibility, you can't really tweak anything because it's all fixed, right? So just looking at it, I'm not a super expert in terms of all the variety that integrated handlebars come in terms of their stock stem angles and also the handlebar positions, but just looking at it, I think it's usually stock. It says right here, stem angle -6%. So I think it's just a happy median. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they take like the lump sum average of what everyone would consider a good race handlebar in terms of degrees, in terms of the stem degree angle, and also with the bar drop and all that stuff, and they make it into a package. So it's kind of like you get used to it, where some pros are very, very picky, or just some riders, even yourself could be picky. I'm myself sometimes picky, that you'd want your bars and stem to be in a specific configuration, and that's why some riders don't even run integrated for that reason, because they have very specific stem angles and handlebar widths and drops and reach. Cons would be, you really can't tweak it to your specific needs or what you actually like. So as you guys know, on my channel, I have a Giant TCR. So I hopped on Giant USA just to show you guys another version of an integrated handlebar. Now this one's carbon fiber, contact SLR, Aero Road. You can see that, if we look at the Metron, I just like how the Metron looks. It looks a little bit nicer. Also, it has a little bit more width from what I can see. Then again, I've seen the giant one in person. I'm not that big of a fan of the stem. I like the stem more on the Metron. But other than that, same price roughly, $578. Quite expensive. And then when you compare it to a normal, even the lightweight stuff that Giant has, this one's $95 USD. So 95 plus, let's say, $50 for a stem, you're looking at $150, and this one's $600. So you can see the savings, in terms of value. In my opinion, unless you're racing at a very high level or you have the cash to spend, would it be worth the money? I would say no. It would not be worth the money. And I would just say it's not worth the money because, if you crash, if you drop it, you also run the risk of maybe having a hairline crack. And the savings, like I said, it's not going to be substantial. You just being more aero would be a lot more beneficial. So, I don't want to make this video too long, but, I love the concept. I think it looks really clean. I think it makes cable routing a lot nicer. If you were, a pro racer or someone that had the money, I myself would not go for it. I would stick to the traditional stem and handlebar, and that would be what I would do. Now I'm going to end off the video by showing you what it looks like quickly. You can see that they're built very nicely, very smooth, very, very clean looking. I'm not debating that by any stretch of imagination. It is super clean, super nice, especially with the out front mounts that come stock with these. It looks so clean, so nice. Now we're just looking at what it looks like on the bike, and you can see, that setup to me is really clean and it's really pro. So if you're looking for the best pro look, yeah, it's integrated handlebars, but is it worth the value? I would say, is it worth it? Definitely not. So there you have it on my opinion, if one-piece integrated handlebar systems are worth the money and worth the upgrade. In my opinion, what I said in the video was definitely it is not. You can spend your money on such better upgrades that actually yield a better performance in terms of your cycling performance, but that's just my opinion. Do what you want with that. Upgrade your bike how you want. Comment down in the section below if you would do that or just your thoughts. Always love hearing from you guys. As I record this video and the outro, I'm watching stage 7 of the Tour de France 2020. I really love watching the tour. If you guys do want me to talk about the tour, not too sure in terms of what you guys want to see. Don't want to bore you guys if you guys really don't like, the professional racing type content, but always willing to talk about it. Just really depends on if you guys would be engaged in that. So comment down below if you guys would like me to talk about it. But always fun to watch. I probably will talk about it because I like watching the tours. So, you learn a lot of stuff in terms about cycling in general too. A lot of these videos, even like the one you're watching right now, is basically, based off of me watching the tour and seeing all these guys with integrated handlebars, which is very popular as of recently in the past 2 to 3 years. So I thought it would be what better topic to talk about it, especially if you guys like cycling tech, which I know you guys do, and I love it as well. So just wanted to let you guys know that. And lastly, I said at the beginning of the video, if you guys are watching right now, really appreciate it. You guys are real peddlers. But yeah, the channel is really growing. I have some really good content. I'm really excited to post. I think it's like 2 or 3 videos that I've been really excited to get made and just really pump out really good high quality content for you guys. And that's why I had to take a little bit of a break to really figure out some things behind the scenes in terms of getting some cycling tech for you guys and just, working on some video ideas and some connections to get better content for you guys. So I have a lot of content coming in the future in terms of cycling tech that, for the time being, I didn't have the ability to get my hands on. But slowly with the support of you guys, which I'm super appreciative of, we've gotten to that point. So content is just coming and it's going to be fire. So I don't want to bore you guys. I'm going to finish. There's like 1.9 kilometers. So we're going to see if it's a bunch sprint. Probably is. And until the next one, keep on pedaling.